Hey guys, welcome back to Give Your Hair a Kiss. I'm Kiss, and this is the 10 Days of Kissmas. It's a holiday hair and makeup series full of quick tips and, of course, pink-centric costume characters. So if your heart hasn't completely frozen over yet, hit that subscribe button, give me a like, share it all around. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Instagram, Give Your Hair a Kiss, and check out my products and exclusive offers at giveyourhairakiss.com. So once upon a time, long ago, on a cold, cold winter night. Sound familiar? We've all heard these tales. The tale of the Snow Queen, Ice Queen, Winter Goddess, however you'd like to refer to her. Many countries throughout the centuries have given the ruler of the winter realm one of these names, okay? In America, I believe we just call her the frigid but I've been wrong before. In contemporary pop culture, she's most recognizable as Elsa from the movie Frozen. Not really my jam. Now, some Hans Christian Andersen? Okay, alright, I can get into that. Although this mythology has to start somewhere, right? Like a Danish publication in 1844 can't be. It just can't be the earliest. So Hans Christian Andersen's classic story of the Snow Queen has inspired so many animated and live action films, including the 1957 release The Snow Queen in Soviet Russia and the 1967 live action The Snow Queen in Soviet Russia. And even a CG animated film released in 2012 in Russia. We like Snow Queen. When is she gonna talk about Frozen? I'm not. Let it go. Wrong channel. But it is nice to see people gravitating towards a more positive take on the story, moving away from the, the tried and true old formula of basing a story about an isolated, cold-hearted woman on an opera singer. Yeah, Jenny Lind, who turned you down. And then, of course, bad things happening to children because it's like the oldest trick in the behavioral control tactics book. Okay, it's been done to death, but here we go. In short, Hans Christian Andersen's story of the Snow Queen is the story of a dude's best gal pal coming to bail him out. The story begins with the King of the Hobgoblins, Devil, creating this giant mirror. And this mirror, it doesn't reflect anything good or beautiful. No, you can't see any of those things with this mirror. Okay, instead, it only reflects the ugly and the bad and just the negative of all stuff, things, and people. So the King of the Hobgoblins tells his little, pupil demon trolls, little goblins. He tells his goblins to take this mirror around the world to, mix things up with humanity and cause a bunch of, bad things to happen. And then they're like, okay, we are going to take this mirror up to heaven and we're going to mess around with the angels. So they're carrying it to heaven and they're doing a pretty piss poor job of it. And they drop the mirror, which falls to earth and shatters into these tiny little shards of evil demon glass now, right? And it's floating around for years and years and years on the wind like evil little grains of sand. And it's getting in people's eyes and it's getting in people's hearts. And just one tiny speck from this mirror has the power of the entire gigantic mirror. So if it gets in your heart, you become like this cold-hearted, just jerk. And if it gets in your eyes, you can't see anything good or beautiful. You just see like the worst in everything. People and stuff and things. This has happened. And now enter, when is she gonna get to the Snow Queen? I know, I'm getting there. We call it exposition. So we've got these two kids, right? And they're neighbors. They live in this big city. And their apartment buildings are conjoined by like this roof garden. But let's just call it a roof garden because that's an easy enough thing to visualize, right? So they can like hop from each other's windows. They like do puzzles and things together, and they're growing this rose garden. And it's cute, you know, it's really cute. These two kids, Gerda and Kai, you know, they're hanging out mad much. And Kai's grandmother, on a cold winter night when they're stuck inside and, you know, can't go play in their rose garden, tells them the story of the Snow Queen and how she can control, see, we got to her, how she controls the snow bees, i.e., these little shards of evil glass that are floating around in the wind. She controls them, and she flies like in the flurries of these snow bees. Now they're listening to this story, and they're, you know, just feeling very, very blessed to be in this nice warm house. And Kai's like, oh man, if that witch ever comes in here, don't worry, I'll protect you. I'm gonna like throw her on the stove, and I'm gonna melt her. And Gerda's like, ha ha ha, you're so silly. Let's sing our friendship song about roses. So la da 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 da, summer comes around. They're playing outside. Kai gets some of this evil mirror bits in his eyes and in his heart. And he turns into this total jerk, destroys the rose garden, starts being really cruel to his grandmother, which is just really unacceptable. We don't do that. Leave Oma alone. And it's just, you know, breaking Gerda's poor little heart. Yeah, he's like, friendship canceled. And then winter rolls back around, as it does. And Kai's still being this total brat. And the only thing he's interested in are snowflakes. You know, he's like dreaming by his window. And one day, as he's like brooding at his window, the Snow Queen appears to him and tries to beckon him. And he's like, nah. And she's like, okay. So then he takes his sled into town, into the marketplace. And he's like, I'm going to go sledding. And this carriage comes by, like, and, you know, driven by none other than the Snow Queen. And she's like, hop in, kid. And he's like, yeah, okay, that's fine. So he climbs up into her sled. Big old sled, majestic sled. And she's like charming and beautiful and covered in, like, you know, clad in fur. So she gives him one kiss to numb the cold. Another kiss to make him forget about Gerda and his family and all of his life before he met the Snow Queen. But not a third kiss. Because 3 kisses is death. So, alright, they ride off to the Ice Palace. And the Snow Queen's like, I'm keeping you forever, little boy. And he's like, I don't remember anything, and I'm just kind of a jerk, so I'm gonna... Now, everybody in the village thinks that Kai has drowned in the river. And Gerda, she's upset. She's not buying it. She's not into this idea. She starts interrogating everybody in town, and then she heads down to the river and is like, oh my god, river, please take my offering of my new little red shoes. And she's like, okay, so obviously he hasn't drowned. Great. Awesome. So where's my friend? And the river is like, yo, get in this boat and I'll put you on the right path. So she gets in the boat, she floats down river, she meets a sorceress with this like eternal summer garden. So she hangs out in the garden for a while until one day the sorceress pulls a derp move and has a rose in her hat, and Gerda sees it and is like, oh my god, my friend, that's right, ADD, I'm supposed to go be rescuing him. So she escapes. So she gets to the Ice Palace, and she's got to get past these snowflake guards. So now Gerda's in the Ice Palace, and she finds Kai, who loves puzzles, in the middle of this frozen lake, which the Ice Queen calls the Mirror of Reason. And he's doing a puzzle for the Ice Queen, arranging little shards of glass. He has to create a word that I guess will set him free. A name. So he's trying to arrange these things, and Gerda sees him, and she's like, oh my god, my friend! And she cries, he cries, the spell is broken, no. They escape, they go home. You want to know the details? Read the story. That's about all I'm going to say about Hans Christian Andersen's The Snow Queen. If you were tuned in for the Krampus video in the 10 days of Kissmas, I mention a certain pagan winter goddess. So according to pagan alpine lore, Perkta is a guardian of the beast. Okay, and she would come, she would roam across the countryside during the 12 days of Christmas and go village to village, house to house, and punish the bad children and reward the good, hard-working children and servants. Now, she's like one of two of these winter guardian goddesses. There's also her cousin, Hulda, who we're not going to talk about today. I'm going to focus on Perkta. Stay on Perkta. And they were very concerned with the amount of spinning that was going on. No, not like in a spin class, but like on a spindle. So Perkta could show up in one of two forms, depending on what kind of mood you put her in with your behavior. If you were good, and when we say good, we mean hardworking, and you've spun the necessary amount of wool for the year, Perkta would appear to you as this gorgeous, bright, creature of light, and would gift silver coins that you would find, in a shoe. If you were bad, or lazy, or dishonest, Perkta would appear to you as an old hag, just gross and meh. So now the bad children, who she's visiting as this hag, she would come into their room, slice them open, remove their stomach, cut that open, fill it with twigs and straw and rubble and pebbles and just all matter of debris, right? And then she would sew the stomach back shut, return it to your body cavity, and sew you back shut. But what determined being bad? Lazy, or didn't tell the truth. If you didn't spin enough wool, the Feast of the Epiphany, if you ate anything other than fish and gruel. She's like, nah, no, you're getting a stomach full of twigs. Now, in northern Italy, the lore is a little less severe. So in northern Italy, Perkta comes and leaves candy, small toys, as is the usual, with a lighten up, holiday story. And instead of gutting kids, she would, if they're bad, she would just give them coal. So again, we're seeing that stocking origin story. Okay, they're not perfect, but I'm impressed that I got them on my face. These suckers are massive. Perkta. Okay, Perkta. So, yes. Now, pretty much, that's pretty much it for Perkta. Nevertheless, Perkta is still very much a treasured holiday tradition throughout the Alpine region. And, yeah, festivals still recognize her with their carved masks. Thank you guys for joining me for some Snow Queen storytelling, the origin story of Perkta, and some icy glittery looks. Now I'm off to punish some naughty children and brood away in my ice palace. If you're enjoying the 10 days of Kissmas, hit that subscribe button, give us a like, remember to share it all around this holiday season. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, Give Your Hair a Kiss, and check out my products and exclusive offers at giveyourhairakiss.com. From all of us here at Give Your Hair a Kiss, we're wishing you and your family a safe and happy holiday season. See you next time, guys.